So, welcome to channel Sanjiv 070. This is one such episode which has been publishing over a couple of days after there was a long gap in our channel and there is not been any videos as I was learning some of new skills. So this is a very good episode, a very procrastinating episode, and it is very encouraging episode as we have a chief guest called Anand Bro. So he is one of my senior and he is one of my batchmate of senior batchmate in my college. He is very encouraging guy. He is very motivated person who is currently working as a REST API Python developer. So basic aim to bring Anand Pro is like he is very motivated person. So he has a real time experience on how the industry is going, and he can better and guide the encouraging younger talents. So without wasting time, on behalf of Sanjiv 070 channel, welcome to the channel, bro. And can you introduce yourself, bro, a little?
Yeah, first of all, I thank you, Sanjiv, for giving me a great opportunity to ensure with you. And you're just doing a great stuff in your YouTube channel and publishing about AI and data science talks. You're just doing a great job, and all the best for your future endeavors too. And meanwhile, I'm your lovely subscriber too.
Okay, so for those who don't know, he is active subscriber who comments in every video. So that's a very special our channel. No issues. So coming to the point is the agenda of this meeting is to just we have divided the whole section into 4 parts. The first part would be definitely a session in which Anand Bro would be briefing about himself and a little about the projects that he has worked in the past and about his experiences about the cloud platform, etc. The second would be the current technology that is being on peak and how its views that how he frames in his mind. The third point is like how the current industry demands the data as the new oil and how the AI has revolutionized the world. So it would be a general discussion between both the data mining topics. And the fourth conclusion topic is would be what are the skills that Anand Bro want younger lads to be having already when they are in college itself, because once they come into industry, we know there are many obstacles and where we have to face a lot of challenges and where we can't learn more skills as we have less time. So these are the agenda of this meeting. Hopefully we can start. So rolling on to first topic is, so like Anand Bro, how passionate about how passionate are about your IT industry and how passionate are about your job, like can you explain a little?
Yeah, sure, Sanjiv. Actually, I'm just a 2020 passed out student. Meanwhile, when I am completing that is my college, I just keep to know only the only language that is Python. And I thought I'm going to get a job in Python as a developer. And I was completely blank because there is no one to guide me. There is no one to teach like stuffs and all. I was in a hunt of getting a job. The first agenda on my mind is running is I'm going to get a job. How I'm going to get a job? There is a way struggle to get a job or what. So meanwhile, I just struggled a lot in getting a job and all, and the struggle has continued as well as too. And once I get into the job, I just learned many stuffs as I can. Okay, I just joined as a Python developer, and the first project I just handled this web scraping project. I think you guys know familiar with that. And weeks ago, I just moved on to the web development projects, and I changed to API backend and development, and then I moved on to React Native. It's completely different, okay, from Python to React Native. And then and I moved to AWS infrastructure management, that is DevOps and all. And currently I'm just came back to backend development. So
in short,
there is a cycle of
that every Scrum guy could have on the downline of 10 years.
I'm not sure about that. It's all about the mentality that you have, because
Yeah,
if you think that you can do it, you can just do further.
Sure,
you can.
Sure, yeah. So this is the point. Like everyone, like Anand Bro has a positive attitude, and he has learned a lot of things in just a couple in less than a span of 1 year having experience. So everybody should follow this attitude and have a positive attitude of learning new things in IT industry, especially when we have to survive in the large scale industry. It's like a fish surviving in a whole ocean, and many one could also agree in this. So now coming back to in a agenda, like how it was difficult for you to land in a first job. Like you felt you certainly you would have been faced with many difficulties. It wasn't easy for the most easier task wouldn't be done by you at that time. So how far it was difficult to you?
So meanwhile, not only me, okay, as a fresher, you have to the guy who's entering to get a job in IT, the next day what he is going to do is going to upload a profile in Naukri and just go on a hunt for a job. And see, he or she sees the requirement as that mentioned about Python or Java or anything else. The next day he goes onto the Google and types for the demand languages in 2021 or demand languages in 2022 or something
All
XYZ.
the certification they
The
search.
moment yes, the moment he sees the Python which is in the top, the next day he starts learning Python. And after sometimes he feels that Python is not okay for me, I just need to shift. And then he goes on type to the demand languages in 2021 and sees JavaScript who's in the top. Then he goes for trying JavaScript. Then meanwhile he fails for multiple times. Okay, then again and again he goes for searching for the demand technologies in 2021. Okay, so first of all, instead of choosing your language, just choose your path. That's the only thing. Okay, instead of you may feel the Python is easy for me, you may feel Java is very easy for me, you may feel Ruby or Go language, anything else you may feel easy for me. See, every language is easy. Okay, only the syntaxes is going to be get changed. Okay, first of all, choose your path. The first thing is choose your path. For instance, if you're willing to go on a AI or in machine learning parts, or in the somewhat a mobile application development, or in the web development, or in many technologies are there blooming up there. So choose your path. Then there is n number of technologies, sorry, n number of languages is there, a number of programming languages there. For instance, if you choose web development, you can use PHP, you can use Python, you can use Java, anything else. The frameworks are different. Okay, for instance, Python has a Django framework and Flask, and Java has Spring, PHP has, and more Laravel, and then somewhat frameworks are there. So first of all, choose your path and go on to that path. Okay, instead of learning a separate Python programming language, okay, choose your path, then move on to that path. That's the better way to get a job in this IT industry.
Okay. So this is the advice like you have to give to the fresher like who's in college, right? Like
Yeah, sure. Because once you get into the path, okay, you can make sure that first of all, you're going to learn about any technology, right? For instance, if you're choosing a web technology, you now you're going to choose your language. Some person may choose a Python, some person may choose a Java. Okay, now getting onto the Python, the first level of completing the courses, like you have to read the operators, you have to read the data types, keywords, and XYZ stuffs and all. The second thing, you have to move on to the intermediate, like the exception handlings and the core concept, like the generators and the list comprehension, and more. The third thing is you have to build a project on that. Okay, building a project is only the better step for getting a job in this industry. Once you build any project, a simple project, for instance, a to-do application, or else a basic calculator, or just a GUI application, anything else, or a portfolio, whatever you want, just do a simple project, then add that project to in your resume. That could be an added advantage for you. So by this way, I got a job in this industry.
okay. So I think everyone has cleared over the track record this Anand Bro has told, and hopefully everyone follows about the criteria and about the path, and how struggle he faced, and how what all things he did. He explained in a very clarity and a very exoteric manner. So this would be certainly like every individual has a roadmap to go into IT industry, and every individual has a keen aspect to increase his or her knowledge. So everyone should follow this, and this is the basic one for getting an path, not only for development as he told, for testing and for other department also. If you need to have a clear cut vision in IT industry or any other industry, you could certainly move in a way where people automatically struggles enough, and you can easily have a clear cut. So as everyone knows, like this could be the path followed by every aspect in IT industry. So now, without wasting time, let's move on to second part of video. So Anand bro, like you told about the roadmap that every individual has to figure out and work. So now tell me about the projects that you have mainly done with in your college days. Like as I mentioned about the SIH. So can you elaborate on that topics and your deployment over there, especially on cloud?
Yeah, sure, Sanjiv. In my college days, I was a little bit a charm guy and working on different technologies too. You may
Okay.
know that too.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure. In the
Yes,
rigorous
yes, fine.
tracks, no worries.
Yes,
Yeah.
fine. Okay, fine. And then we both worked on many projects too. I think we have worked on Smart India hackathons and and the college projects too. So the whatever stuff that you're doing in your academics is going to be an added advantage on the industries too. So for instance, my project is basically a chatbot. Okay, you may think it's going to be a basic chatbot, is going to give a response and send the response data and all. But I started this chatbot project in a new technology called Rasa. Okay, on that time the
Rasa
technology
NLU.
was a blooming one. Yes,
Okay.
Rasa NLU. On that time, okay, the Rasa was blooming on the time. Okay, I worked with the lower version. Now currently Rasa with 2.x and more. Okay, so I got an idea with the Rasa chatbots. That is going to be an added advantage for my future projects in IT industry too. So with that project, one day I explained that the project about that particular technology to my client. So on that day, my client has got impressed on me, and he has given that project to me kindly to finish it as soon as possible. So what are the things that you're going to do in your academics is going to be a give a added step for your future. So instead of wasting your time, okay, you just spend an hour in learning a programming language, or else learning at any technology stuffs in your during your college period. Okay, and meanwhile mini project as well as main project, anything else you can do, anything whatever you want, but learning the best stuff in that project is an added advantage for you. For instance, if you're creating any library management system in your project, in your college project, in future if you're going to any industries, okay, it may help on that time.
Sure. So, as Anand Bro said, it has a very immense impact once you complete your projects, once you have created enough projects. So now, as he is working in industry, so he is having already a little bit work experience, and he already has started building his projects from the college itself. For those people who need to start as a fresher, my suggestion and Anand's suggestion both would be just focus on complete end-to-end deployment, because that's the main criteria that everyone needs to be followed. Like if I take an example of machine learning project, we start with the feature called feature engineering, where we pre-process data, we use NLT kit and etc. Where we model creation is there, then model deployment is there, then frameworking is there. So everything is continuously done in an iterative process in a waterfall model concept, or we can call it as an iterative model, where everything is being done from right from feature creation till model deployment. So Anand bro, like how can you little bit elaborate on your cloud deployment access and how you experience?
Sure, Sanjiv. I start with my work experience too. Okay,
Okay.
and okay, I just started as in, I just started as a Python developer and just moved on to many projects. Since there is no senior support in my companies too. Okay, I have to struggle as a single line. Okay, each and every day I have to struggle what I'm going to do. One day I thought, what I'm going to do on the next day. The client comes and asks for the project. Where is the project? We are going to the end line. Every day I just started to, even that wasn't at the time. Okay, every day I thought, this is not the right job for me, I just need to quit.
Okay.
One day I just taken a step.
I think
Okay,
this thought comes in every IT guy in starting of career.
yes. Once you procrastinate, okay, you just stop procrastinating everything, you can just simply succeed in this IT
Okay.
industry. Okay, now, and the next day I thought, okay, my conscience said, what are you going to do in this morning? Okay, in this morning you're going to deploy this project, you're going to complete this project, then move on to the next project. Okay, each and every day the 8 hours of work is going to be a productive work day. Instead
Okay.
of wasting anything, instead of watching YouTube, instead of listening music and anything xyz stuff, on this 8 hours of work, what I'm going to do, the 8 hours is completely going to be a productive day. Anything, a product is going to be get deployed. And then and recent works, I worked on the backend development projects. In API, I'm completely fresh to API handling. And for the past I think 4 months back, I just really struggled in the API developments. I'm completely new to that. Okay, in that Django REST framework and all, and the community is too high. Okay, for Django REST framework, but I'm a little bit chaos and confused about how to start. Okay, even as a fresher, okay, everyone is get a chaos about how to start this. Okay, even I asked to my college seniors to how to handle this problem in Django. I was really struggled in that time, and day by day I just start procrastinating and start doing. Okay,
Okay.
if I instead of learning, you just need to start working on that project, anything, instead of
So you are saying like apart from learning, we need to stop procrastinating and just jump into the action for
start
better
doing.
results.
Yes, that's it. Okay, instead of learning the documentation, okay, just read the documentation for 4 to 5 hours, then start doing what are the stuffs you like. Okay,
Make your hands dirty on the projects like real time.
yes, that's it. And
Okay.
meanwhile, this got an added advantage. I just completed many API projects and web development projects too. And
Okay.
and then recently I just got an opportunity to work in infrastructure projects too.
Oh, cool.
So yes, yes. Okay, a client guy came as they have said they don't need a server development deployment. They need to deploy their project in Azure DevOps. So I'm I'm completely new on to the Azure DevOps. There is no support from my company too.
Sure, sure,
Um,
sure.
okay, the deadline was about 6 days only. Okay, I was completely struggle. There is no help to ask anyone. Okay, it took 4 days to completely read out the documentation of the Azure and knowing about the CI/CD pipelines of that Python development. And successfully on the fifth day night, I could deploy the projects. On the sixth day
I think on
morning,
the
the
deadline
client,
before a night of deadline,
yes,
like every
yes,
engineer
it was
sustains for a semester exams, like you as you did.
that was a real bit struggle. The
Okay.
4 days I was completely sleepless. I thought I would wake up at the early morning and get into the computer by 7 o'clock morning, and I work for nearly hardly 10 to 12 hours on the
I
computer
think one big
and
person
get
has
back.
said prototypes are easy than rather than manufacturing the products. I hope you
Yes, right.
encourage the tweet. That recently got
Thank you.
viral.
And okay, I just sit on a computer by morning 7 and then get back to sleep on the early morning 3. So
Okay.
this routine continued for 4 days, choosing the better documentation for the Azure. And the fifth day, I just completed the Azure DevOps. And then sixth day, the project has been successfully
Then it was a
delivered to the client.
smile on your face with a five that you can handle.
Yes,
Okay.
that was a real struggle. Instead of if there is any senior support, you can do it wise. You can ask the stuff to the senior and how you can handle it wisely. Because I can say openly, in my company, I'm the only one guy in Python. Okay,
Many
so
has
that was
many
a little bit.
many has a struggle over the deployment part and encouraging the things.
Yes, I was little bit struggled on that time. It was a nightmare on that time.
Okay, so like Anand Bro was basically, to be precise, like Anand Bro has been saying, like he has struggled a lot while during the deployment phase, while during the development phase, while doing the testing phase, while during the gathering requirement phase. So basically, every individual faces in the initial phase of his career as being a fresher to IT industry. He doesn't know what to do, where to do, how to start, what all sources need to be done, what are the main processes that need to be followed, and if at all there is no one to guide, then it creates a chaos among the individual mind who couldn't get the right information right from the right people. And it is obvious, like anyone couldn't anyone has doesn't know from the birth, like everyone struggles, everyone learns, and everyone goes. So this is the journey of every individual. But being precise to our IT industry respect to, what happens here is, like as he mentioned, he has experience over cloud deployment, and this is the struggle he had faced, especially while learning the deployment. And he is a guy who is very enthusiastic, who is very motivated, and still he could learn with the help of a lot of struggles. Then for the people who doesn't have these skills, then it was very difficult for them to learn. But if you have patience and you have faith in yourself, definitely you would be also be an expert than rather being a beginner in any industry. So now coming back to third agenda of this meeting, like Anand bro, like you have tell ample of things, like you have struggled a lot and you have, how come you overcame it. So now what are the projects that you have mainly done, and what are the any certification, any courses you have done apart from academics? And like as we mentioned about SIH, so we had a brief discussion about that also. Like how far the you think like certificates are more important than academics, or academics plus certificates? So what created a balance between you, and what is the job landing certification for you? Like if you have any done.
Simply I have to say I have only one certification, that is my Smart India Hackathon certificate. I haven't done any so far online certification or a cloud certifications and all. I just learned the Python in YouTube channel, okay, and I just keep to know about all the data types and keywords and all this complication structures and everything else. I followed the documentation Python and just it took around 1 to 2 months to read. I don't have a perfect certification and all. Okay, on this criteria, I just cleared my interviews and get on to that. And the first day I'm getting on job, there is no KT itself. Okay, I'm just directly into the job. On that time, a web scraping project was there. I was tend to search on the YouTube how to web scrap in Python. Okay, on this progress, I just learned instead of doing certifications, I just learned on this way. uh, Checking onto the YouTube, reading the documentation
Okay.
is only the way for me on that time, because the situation for is worse and chaos for me. And meanwhile, certification is a good one. Okay, instead of if you're a fresher, you're going to get an IT industry, doing any certification in cloud platform, or else do any Sun certification or an Python certification, is an added advantage for you for getting a job as a fresher. Okay, but meanwhile I skipped that. Okay, I skipped that, but you guys don't do that mistake. Okay, having a perfect certification is always a better opportunity to get a job in this IT industry, because there is a 500 people in this row who is getting a single role as a job position. If you have the any certification done, that could be an added advantage for you for
And
getting
how
onto the
come the
job.
recruiter also dignifies your profile? Like how come you shortlist your profile, and how come you filter the, because filtering is one such process of recruitment. Like
Yes, the filtering is only based on your technical skills, as well as the projects that you have done so far, as well as the certifications that you have right now. And meanwhile, the projects, the next is going to be the project is going to be get placed. And
Okay.
I worked in many Django web projects, as well as in e-cart management and then XYZ stuffs. And in
Okay.
API projects, I recently worked in API projects in developing chatbot APIs and too.
Hmm.
And I just got an opportunity to work with Raza also, Raza NLU.
Hmm.
It's a latest trend in chatbot projects. So I worked in the Raza NLU also, and then I worked on React Native too. I just got an opportunity to work on
So
React
you are
Native.
a full stack developer, noting all the
Meanwhile,
points.
I can say that too. Okay, I'm not sure
Okay.
about that.
But certainly you have a little bit hands-on experience
Because
on every domain that you have, certainly, right?
yes,
Okay.
because instead of procrastinating everything, you just keep your foot on the technology. You can, if you
Hmm.
fail, that doesn't matter. Okay, you can just simply learn whatever you want. That's what I did.
Okay.
That giving me
So, like
that
being
motivation
an iterative
gave
manner
me
is better than others.
sorry.
Being an iterative manner is better than others, like sitting in a place, not
Yes,
learning
yes,
anything.
yes, Sanjiv.
Okay.
Yes.
So very good,
So
very good experience of yours. Like,
thank you. And meanwhile, if you're a fresher starting to getting a job, okay, my advice is need to get a job in a startup companies, because startup companies will give you a way better learn of give you a way better learn of the way better of learning.
hmm,
Okay, you can merge and work with many technologies too. Okay, for instance, if you're working in Python, you can go on to another project. Like what I have done, I'm simply working in a startup company too. So
so like as Anand bro told, like he is very efficient and he completed very projects. Like, so Anand bro, like my small question is, like today also people have the mentality of just studying to the sticking to the academics. Like they study only for their academic, they only concentrate on degree. So what your opinion, by not completing any internships for the 4 years, not completing any specific courses, can anybody get job just with their BTech degree?
yes, for sure. Even I'm the type of guy too. I haven't done any internships, and I haven't done any certifications, that is sort of any programming language certification, or else any kind of cloud certifications too. Okay, the one thing is the ability to learn, and the self motivation that you can simply get a job and you can easily survive in this industry. So my advice to this first the people who is willing to get in the IT job, okay, you just instead of start looking out to the any projects, okay, if you go onto the YouTube, you can see somewhat a Python project, a web project, okay, instead of seeing that multiple projects on that time, you just start doing on that day itself. Okay, the number of projects you've done so far is going to be a get added advantage for you. Okay.
Okay.
The self motivation.
So now, without wasting time, let's roll out into the fourth part of our video. Like Anand bro, you have completed, so you have shared every experience that you have over your academics, or your projects, or your cloud deployment, especially your hackathon also. So now I want you to give suggestions for the people who are watching this video, as being a college student, what they should have equipped knowledge in doing their colleges, and what you have mistaken. Like now you are feeling like, if I would have done it in my second year, then now I would be in place in a better version of myself, being a better version of myself. Like, what a suggestion that you are like to give? Okay, so can you like elaborate yourself on this matter? Okay, so can you suggest bro, like with little bit tips on that?
Yeah, sure, Sanjiv. In my college academic times, I just really wasted my half of my time. During my lockdown period only, I just start learning on the industry related stuffs. Okay, as a fresher, if you're in the second or third year, you just start doing the things by now. Okay, instead of wasting your time with the playing games or any stuffs like that. Okay, if you're willing to get into the IT job or any industry, just start doing by today itself. Okay, you just go on to the any YouTubes or go into any stuffs. Okay, look for the path that you're going to willing for. For instance, if you're going to go into the mobile development, just start learning the programming language day by day. uh, that step by work will ensure that you can get a better job in IT industry with better package too. Because I missed this opportunity, okay, for with getting a better package in this IT industry. So you guys, please don't this much opportunity during your academic times. Instead of wasting your time, you just start working any new relatable stuff. Look for new technologies, new blooming technologies in the current industry, and do projects in that that could be a added advantage for you. And meanwhile, most of the students will like to do get into startup companies too. I thank them for that, because once you work with the startup companies, you can know the boss pressure. Okay, like the your manager or the boss pressure, you can know the boss pressure too. So you can merge and work wisely too. Okay, working with the startups is a great stuff for freshers too. You can learn about multiple technologies same time, because I'm working in a smaller company. Okay, it currently I have 8 months of experience. So you can see my my level of projects is completely different. The day by day the projects gets changes. For a week I was just work on Python, and the next week I just move on to React Native or something else. Okay, the day by day the work is getting changed instead of getting stuck in your particular project. Okay, and my advice for freshers is just simply, okay, just work in a business that you can learn enough to start your own business. That's it.
Okay, so your suggestion is to be become an entrepreneur, which is also a very great fortune for the Made in India campaign. And certainly, these are the tips. Like every aspect and every needs to be covered. Like we also have a beautiful experience over our lives and all. So without wasting time, so Anand bro, like it was we came to the end of our episode, and thanks for like sharing your views and experiences with that. And it was a very, I think it was around 25 minutes video. All the people would definitely view it, and I will give Anand bro's LinkedIn and resume in the description box, so that if you anybody has a little bit details, Anand bro can directly help him. And I know Anand bro definitely he will be helping them if somebody would be connecting and asking him doubts. And I would recommend go forward and ask your doubts to Anand bro, because he's such an open character guy who can be, who is always ready to help, and who is always ready to being motivating others. So this is a very short video about his experiences and all. Thanks for coming to our channel, Anand bro, and sharing your experiences. Hopefully like you watch our videos in future also. And thanks for coming, and thanks for a valuable time you shared with us. uh, Thank you, Anand bro, once again from the bottom of this channel, heart and etc. Anything you want to say conclusive, Anand bro?
No, nothing much, Sanjiv. Thank you and thanks a lot. And this level of contribution is need to get more and more on your channel. And
For sure.
all the best and good luck for you, Sanjiv.
Thank you, bro. Sure. Bye, bro.